So we have got the riders and passengers for this race 11 at the tapes ready to go. Look for Terry Saunders, he makes great starts. So tapes go up and it is Terry Saunders who's made his standard quick start there. It's Terry Saunders and Carl Pugh who lead into the turn. Paul Whitelam and Richard Webber in that second place. Steve Smith and Gareth Little have got themselves into third. Terry Saunders, partnered today by Carl Pugh. He looks very, very quick at the front. Paul Whitelam and Richard Webber actually falling away from the back of him. I think Steve Smith and Gareth Little will be hoping to put in a challenge on Paul Whitelam. Terry Saunders and Carl Pugh. Terry, of course, very accomplished passenger for many, many years to Rob Wilson. And now he's turned to these bars and he is absolutely brilliant. And they straighten up in the middle of the turn, but he's got it all under control. Very, very quick on the power machine. Out on the circuit anywhere, so Pete Shaw not making it onto the circuit for this one, but the checker flag is already being made ready. It will be interesting to compare these two race times. It's Terry Saunders and Carl Pugh who take the win. Whitelam and in second. Steve Smith and Gareth Little come home third, and it will be Corey Taylor and Jordan Holland who finish fourth. We've got Steve Smith and Gareth Little in gate 3. Rick McCauley and Alan Hoskin in gate 5. Of course, they had an absolutely flying gate in their opening ride. And Trevor Heath and Sam Heath off of gate 6. So Simon Beanie had a second first time out. Steve Smith had a third. Rick McCauley had a third. Trevor Heath had a third. So race 25 getting onto the line, just the last of the outfits getting themselves sorted and ready over there. So tapes up, away they go. Trevor Heath has initially made a quick start, but it's Steve Smith and Gareth Little who have led going down the back straight. Trevor Heath has dived round the outside and Rick McCauley is there in third. So Trevor Heath has got round the outside of Steve Smith. That's a good ride from Trevor Heath, but Steve Smith... Good ride there, and now Rick McCauley's having a go up the inside of Trevor Heath as well. They come together in the middle of the turn. So Steve Smith and Gareth Little get themselves in front, but they are being hounded here by Trevor Heath and Sam Heath. So we know that Trevor Heath can turn that outfit so hard, and he's turned the outfit hard. You can see that Steve Smith is running wide off the turns, and Trevor Heath will try and make sure that he's right up the inside if opportunity knocks coming out of this final turn. So already we've got the last lap flag being made ready, and Steve Smith and Gareth Little, they are looking good here, but they've got to try and keep it in tight because Trevor Heath is there up the inside. But now Steve Smith has got plenty of speed. He's on that much wider line, but he's got plenty of speed out there. Meanwhile, Simon Beanie's gone through for third place as Rick McCauley seems to have pulled off. So round this final turn, Steve Smith and Gareth Little, they've got to keep things tidy here on the outside. They have done just that. Steve Smith and Gareth Little. Trevor and Sam Heath finished second. Simon Beanie and Adrian North finished third. So race 39, sponsored by Team Palmer Racing, is at the start. And it will be interesting to see who gets the best of this one, because we've got some riders here that are fairly even on points. So here we go then, race 39. There's a problem on the inside there. I think that's Steve Smith there on the inside that's having a bit of a problem. Not sure what the issue is there though. So still a problem there for Steve Smith on gate 1. We've seen a few problems with gate 1. So once again there's a problem there. I think that they're struggling to keep the machine off of the tapes. It's rolling forward. It is a little bit downhill on the outside, on the inside over there anyway. So it looks like they are happy with things on the start line now for race 39, so hopefully we can get things going now. So now it looks like there's a problem on the outside possibly for Paul Whitelam. So finally we do get going with this race 39, and it's Steve Smith and Gareth Little who make an absolutely flying start from the inside. Paul Whitelam's now gone round him. Matt Fumarola's tucked up the inside, so they are together in this turn. Paul Whitelam though is the leader as they come off the turn. It's Paul Whitelam who leads. They chase back down into the pit corner. Paul Whitelam and Richard Webb though, they've got themselves in front. They are the crew that haven't managed to win a heat so far this afternoon, and they are making sure that they do so here to see their way into the final. Matt Fumarola and Andy Wilson won't feel too comfortable in that third place. They will want to get past Steve Smith in the middle of the corner. So Paul Whitelam and Richard Webb are getting away, but I think that the two Midland crews are going to be the ones that are battling. Steve Smith loses the back end coming off the banking. That's allowed Matt Fumarola to come past. So Matt Fumarola and Andy Wilson, they've now got themselves off of the banking from Steve Smith and Gareth Little. In fact, they've slowed up a little bit in that third place now and allowed Matt Fumarola to get away. So the checkered flag is being made ready. This is going to be the first win of the afternoon for Paul Whitelam and Richard Webb. Although Matt Fumarola's got very close at the end of this race, it is a win for Paul Whitelam and Richard Webb. Steve Smith third.
Multi-Masters champion Mark Cossa. Matt Fumarola's had an excellent season as well this year, so we should be in for some cracking action in this race number 10, second heat of the big chairs. Five crews out there for the second heat, up for the tapes, away they go, looking for Mark Costa to make the drop. Has he made the drop? He's going to get the corner first. Fumarola trying to get through on the inside. Mark Costa making a move round the outside, and Costa goes round the outside. Smith holds a second. Fumarola's in third. Berwick is in fourth place. That's the top four, powering into that pits corner on the opening lap. Look at the speed of Mark Costa on the exit from that corner. He powers on this straight to complete that lap. Fumarola's got to find a way through on the inside. Berwick has got the third with Menard in fourth place. That's the top four as they go in the back straight once again. The speed of Mark Cossa is carried into a big lead now. Again, he throws it into that pits corner. Tremendous try coming out of the corner. Virtually left it right there over that hump coming out of that corner. Smith hanging on to second place. Switching it back to the outside, trying to get round the outside. Smith up on that top corner. That's where the main action is for second and third, because Mark Cossa's got it completely sewed up at the front. Smith hanging on to the inside line, forcing Fumarola to go right round the outside there. And still Cossa is the clear lead there, but Smith holding that second place with him. And again the action's on the second and third, and Fumarola comes alongside Smith. Can Smith come again? Yes, he's come again, back up the inside. They're absolutely locked together for second and third. Fumarola again, right back round the inside. Cossa wins it by the proverbial mile, but what a great race for second and third. Fumarola gets second, Smith gets a third. Berwick is in fourth, Menard in fifth place. Super action there for second and third, and the veteran Steve Smith really making Matt Fumarola work so hard there for that second place. But the speed for Mark Costa, totally unbelievable in that second heat of the big chairs. Looks like he may have come to a stop. So into line then, cracking heat this one. Two crews and one opening right. Away we go, looking for Terry Saunders make a quick start. That's exactly what he's done in front. So is Willock and so is the big boys. There's nothing much between the top four. Down the back straight they go for the first time then. Saunders has stolen them all to the front after another super jet propelled start. It's still off who's got the second. Smith is in third, Fish in fourth. That's still the top four as they come to complete lap number one then. Saunders is clear then. Rondell supplied in sixth place. They go down the back straight once again, slowly but surely. Terry Saunders is getting away. Steve Smith looking for that second place. It will offer now, and Fisher hunting down Steve Smith. It's all happening for second, third, and fourth as Terry Saunders is well cleared the front. Holding the inside line, so the big boys. They're trying to get inside Steve Smith. The action now developing for third and fourth. Steve Smith a little bit slow on the exit for that top corner. Fish just come alongside him, gets inside him, going into the pitch corner. Can Smith come back on the inside? He's trying to get back through on the inside. Leads him on the last lap. Fish has got third. Smith is in four. Rondell in five. Menard in six. That's the six. They go to the back straight once again. It's going to be 2-2 for Terry Saunders. He's absolutely flying out of the starts. Two electric gates, and he's made it count on both occasions. Terry Saunders gets in. Will often get to second. Fish in third. Smith in fourth. Rondell in five. Menard in sixth place. Good sidecar action there again in race number 23. Steve Smith, mixed ace. Dale Fish, delete number 27. Will often and Mike Austin. Another good heat of sidecar action. Race number 33. The interval will follow this race. Five crews in action then for race number 33. Just waiting for Steve Smith to settle there in grid number 2. Gareth Little just gets back on the back of Steve Smith. We're all ready for action now for race 33. No, Steve Smith still not happy with his grid. Passenger back off again. Now he gets on. Clark of the course getting very anxious there. Wants him to get away. And now Mike Austin's got his hand in the air. Red flags up again, problems there for promoter Mike Austin on the inside grid. Now eventually they do all get away. Who's going to get away? Austin has got away, that could be good. Fish boys are last at the moment. They've got to go back then through for the back. That's going to make it interesting. As Mike Austin is stolen the mark to the front. Steve Smith holds that second place. He's now passed by Will Often. Steve Smith is now passed then by both the Fish lads who go through from 5th to 3rd place instead of chasing Will Often. As Mike Austin is the race leader there. Richard got 3rd, Smith's in 4th. Mixed stage pulls on the middle of the track, problems there for Netball back into play position as Mike Austin's stolen the march. The front is clear, going into that pits corner once again. Hoffman has got the second, Smith has got, Fisher got third, Smith has got fourth. Can put in lap number 2 then, still Austin with the lead there. Third place, Smith dropping back slightly in fourth as they go to the back straight once again. Mike Austin on course for his first winning right of the afternoon then. Still Hoffman has got that second place, Fisher's got third, Smith is in 4, equal distance between them. And Mike Austin leads on the last Hoffman holding second, down third, Steve Smith still in 4th place position. The race leader halfway down that back straight for the final time in this, the last race before the interval. So Mike Austin picks up his first race win of the afternoon. Second place goes to Will Offit. Third is going to be Delpit. Fourth is Steve Smith.
Now we move back to race 11 is the Bantasia right-hand sidecars, and we have got in this one Neil Owen and Jason Farwell. They will go off gate 1 in this one. And not in race 12. We've got nobody in gate 2. We'll have nobody in gate 3 either because Andrew Middard was due to be in there. Steve Smith and Gareth Little in gate 4. Bradley Reynolds and Steve Smith, they did pull up in their opening line. I think I can see them up there though, so pleased to see that Bradley Reynolds will take his place here. And Robbie Simmons isn't here, of course, but we do have Steph Blythe going out in this race. Here's Bradley Reynolds and Steph Blythe are the 4 outfits to go for race 11, leg 2 of the 1000cc sidecars. Okay, take that away they go. Neil Owens with it. This is riding into the first turn. Bradley Reynolds is here in third. Steph Blythe's got up the inside of Bradley Reynolds in the first turn. Neil Owen and Jason Farwell have absolutely cleared off here. Not even completed a lap and they are already looking very, very good. The changes because Steph Blythe's come up the inside of Bradley Reynolds, and now Bradley Reynolds switches back up the inside. It's getting very close for that third and fourth. So Bradley Reynolds thinks about having a look at the inside of Steph Blythe, but he knows that this corner is difficult to exit. Steve Smith's gone wide and Steph Blythe, Steve Reynolds has problems exiting the turn. So the bikes come to a stop, the yellow flag blades in the middle of the circuit, so he'll try and push the machine out of the way. And in the meantime, Steph Blythe has got himself into second, so lots and lots of changes for second, third and fourth. One more lap there for Neil Owen and Jason Farwell, who are convincingly winning this one. So round the turn for the final time then. Welshman Neil Owen and his Cornish passenger Jason Farwell, they take a win, and a convincing win as well. Steph Blythe and Morgan Blythe finishing second. Steve Smith and Gareth Little come home third.
Qualifying heat for the big chairs then. Delete number 31, put in number 2, Steve Smith and Andy Wilson, but of course they were looking for things on the track arms, and that is another good one because Steve Smith, Kieran Hicks, Billy Winterburn and Terry Saunders all in action in this one. Thomas Newton, the passenger for Billy Winterburn. This will be the last heat, and then we go into our various finals, which the lap scorers will need time to sort out because they'd already done it once and have had to change it. So another tough heat then. Riders needing points. Steve Smith will need a good ride here, so will Billy Winterburn. 6 on the line then for the last qualifying heat for the big chair, sponsored by Nigel Farwell. We've got somebody up, one of the passengers is off checking the bike there on the inside grid. That's Liam Brown checking something there for Terry Saunders. Well, the long right now seems to be an eternity, then the tapes eventually went up. Terry Saunders back in third place, and Billy Winterbird's last at the moment. That's not good enough for Billy. Trying to find his way through on the inside. But Steve Smith is still in the march to the front. Taylor holds a second. Terry Saunders goes barnstorming through on the inside of April. Into second place, Steve Smith. Hicks has got the third, but he wins up to 5. I don't think that'll be enough. As they make their way to the back straight once again, the old maestro's at it again. Steve Smith comes up the bank in once again with a clear lead over Terry Saunders in second, and Kieran Hicks has got the third place position. Winterburns up to 4th now as they race down that back straight once again, and Saunders getting very close to Steve Smith. Has he got the energy, Steve Smith? We're still a lap and a quarter to go. He's holding the inside line, but he's left a gap, and Saunders is going to go through. Second, fourth place. Up the top fours they go down the back straight. Checkered flag remain ready this time. Terry Saunders, Liam Brown, with a superb heated 1000cc sidecar action. It's Terry Saunders who gets to win. Second place. Kieran Hicks picks up the third, but the Winterburns goes to fourth. That's the total, and somebody going straight on the middle of the track. Problems there for the last crew across the line. But
Morning, Steve.
Hello, Bob.
How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
So, I've got to ask this question.
Hang on, there's a very important gentleman.
Yeah, I've got to ask this.
He's asking a question. I don't know whether
I know you're the wrong side of 50.
Will I need to answer it,
Yeah.
or will I just keep...
Why you do that? Are you going for Jimmy?
Now, you still go amazingly well, and I know what age you are, and I'm not going to mention it. But do you get tired after, a couple of laps?
I did look at your video, and you must know that I'm getting tired because you actually said so on the video.
Did I?
In the third leg. I mean, last week was just a
Yeah, no, I don't do the commentating. That's the commentator.
Well,
Yeah, no, that's not
whoever
me.
it was very astute to see that.
It does look like you get tired after 2 or 3 laps, especially later in the day.
Yeah.
Say there's like a third or fourth leg or a semi-final.
I'll have to say that I haven't yet established whether it's me that's getting tired or the physicality of the bike that's making me
So
tired.
what keeps you racing?
What keeps me right? Because I cannot go to bed at night without dreaming of racing and potentially getting on the rostrum again, which is probably a mile away.
No, I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
I would just love to.
Your bike is always immaculate, as we can see, and you're a multi-British champion. How many times did you win the British title? 6 times. But I was just curious into what keeps you racing as you get older.
It is a difficult one to explain.
Is it because you still get the buzz out of it?
Yeah, it's right buzz. The adrenaline factor is incredible for me. It always has been.
Well, you've always been a pretty quick rider. Ever since you was racing when I started filming back in '89. So
I was racing in London.
Yeah, you was racing 68. Before. Yeah, so you started 68. That's a long time.
It is a long time.
Yeah. All right, then, so well, good luck, mate.
Thank you very much.
Good to have a chat.
Yeah. Cheers, Bob. Thanks.
well, good morning. The North Crosser, Ledbury.
So Jim, race 11, the right-hand sidecars.
Indeed, Gareth, we go with the right-hand sidecars for the first time this afternoon. This race 11 in your programme, sponsored by SA Eggleston Groundworks. And we have to wait for race 12 to see the defending champion Mark Coster and Carl Blythe in action. But great to see that Steve Smith and Gareth Little go in this one. Adrian Minard and Lewis Davis. Tom Penfold, Callum Taylor, Clint Blondell and Colin Meesa. Paul Whitelam and Richard Webb, Del Fish and Jordan Fish. Well, I'm not really sure what's happened there, but we're getting practice starts by the look of it. And looking across that far side, of course, Paul Whitelam riding in the 1000 and the 500 chairs this afternoon. We more traditionally are used to him riding the 1000cc sidecars. Well, looks like they're all been given a chance to have a practice start, so just take the green grass off from the start line. So they've had their practice starts and now the starters call them back in line. Anxiously looking across that far side, I can see the starter still pulling one or two of them up to the tape. Exactly where they'd want to be, but they're under pressure from in second spot. Number 20, of course, Dale Fish and Jordan Fish. And, away from him. And Paul Whitelam very, very, very wide coming out of the bend. So again, Dale closes up. But can he do enough? He's got a much tighter line on that top bend. Paul Whitelam must be aware of what's going on. Getting a big enough you can see here that Paul Whitelam is very, very wide off this top corner. But he's plenty quick enough to stay in front of Dale Fish and Jordan Fish. Clint Blundell and Conor Measer are the outfit in third at the moment. Paul Whitelam and Richard Webb has got enough. Very, very wide off that turn. But it's enough to bring home the win. They take the win here in this opening ride for the right-hand sidecars. Dale Fish second, Clint Blundell finishes third. Steve Smith fourth and Andrew Minard. Indeed, I was just looking back at the early rides of the right-hand sidecars and remind you, of course, that Mark Cosser had to work very hard for his win. He goes in race 23. Tom Cosser had a win and he goes in this first one, race 22. Matt Fumarola had, well, he was leading for a long while, wasn't he, before Mark Cosser worked hard and got past him. So, really the battle in this one is probably going to be between Tom Cosser and Matt Fumarola. And the interesting one really on paper is race 24, where you've got Paul Whitelam and Richard Webb, who had a win. So the last of the sidecars coming into line. Watch for the start marshal to walk away. Oh, looking across to that start line, you can see that one of our outfits is having trouble with getting machinery started and they're going to be left on the start. So we do get underway with 5 outfits only as we go into this first turn. And it is Matt Fumarola that once again has made a very, very good start. And Steve Smith is the rider in second. Tom Cosser is in third spot at the moment. So to put any pressure on Matt Fumarola, Tom Cosser first of all going to get past Steve Smith. He does that. So Matt Fumarola, who was in this position with brother Mark, and Tom's now got to do the same thing if he can. And I must admit, Matt's holding a very, very good line. That's the wider line on this. Working his way round. Decides to go for the inside on the exit of the bend, and he's much, much closer this time. Well, it is the last lap that we've got underway, but Tom Cosser's got a lot of work to do as he works his way through. So, Tom Cosser and Wayne get themselves to the front exactly when they needed to, and they indeed make it 2 out of 2. And a chance to see in action once again Mark Cosser and Carl Blythe. They did of course set up the fastest time of the day so far, 1:17. I wonder if they can go any quicker than that. Paul Whitelam goes in this one. He's been scoring consistently well all afternoon. And just very quickly, if I could announce for Sandy Russell and Ginny Pagham, I should say, both celebrating their 60th this week, I'm told. And that comes from best wishes from the Colvin family and the Russell family and everybody else involved in Grasstrack. So hands in the air I can see on that start line, so problems for one of the machines. Hands go down, the starter moves, and the takes go up. Somebody again has missed the start, but no start. So it'll be interesting to watch what sort of start will start. Paul Whitelam trying to follow the line that Mark's taking. He sits there in second place, and Corey Taylor is the rider in third. Well, Mark has a quick look over his shoulder. He knows there's nobody there, so it is just a question of comparing his race time. Steve Smith looks to be having a go at the back of the field. He's up now in third place. Into the last lap on the flying Mark.
Yeah, he is absolutely flying. I was just watching him as he comes off of this corner. The bike's working so well. The back wheel's all the way as he comes off this corner. Propels him forward. He's able to go so much quicker than everyone else. It'll be interesting to see the time. He wins it. Whitelam second. Steve Smith works hard to get past Corey Taylor for that third as well.